it's impossible to imagine Rome without the Tiber. The eternal city and its river are like two lovers joined together by an eternal betrothal, joined together by an inextricable destiny. In the golden waters of the Tiber, Rome is reflected in all its vanity and shows a face unknown to less discerning observers. At the mouth of the Tiber, Aeneas came ashore fleeing from Troy. Among the foliage of the Tiber, the cradle of Romulus and Remus found shelter. From the Tiber came Ancus Marcius, the founder of Ostia. Certainly, the Tiber provided the necessary conditions for the birth and expansion of Rome. From the first, the river was popular as the most important route for traffic going from the mountains to the sea and vice versa. The numerous remains of Etruscan and Roman ports, still visible along the banks, are witness to this. After more than a century, Rome has retaken possession of its river. The Tiber has once again become navigable, and today, from Viale Marconi, it's possible to embark on a trip that makes one of the most fascinating crossings a traveller might ever experience. Coming down the steps from the Marconi Bridge, the chaos of the city is left behind, and you become immersed in an almost dreamlike dimension. This is a place suspended between the present and the past, where things lose their significance and take on new shades of meaning. Ubaldo, commander of the Invincible, takes his guests on a short dream cruise. Destination: Ostia Antica.
Tutte le navi che arrivavano dal Mediterraneo, ma maggiormente dal porto di Pozzuoli, arrivavano ad Ostia Antica, scaricavano le merci, poi le immagazzinavano dentro a dei grandi magazzini che dopo andate a vedere, e poi le dovevano riportare a Roma. Come venivano portate a Roma? Trainate attraverso dei sentieri lungo il Tevere dai buoi. Chiudete la porta di casa a Roma, scendete a Ponte Marconi, arrivate qui sotto Ponte Marconi, montate sull'Invincibile, io vi faccio da Caronte e vi porto per sta delizia sul fiume.
Different from what people commonly imagine, the Tiber represents an extraordinarily rich and unusually beautiful natural environment, where various species of animals and plant life live and reproduce. Winter colonies of the common seagull are numerous, and alongside them there are a few royal seagulls. But the river can amaze. An exceptional observation point is that of the Mediterranean Habitat Centre, a large naturalistic park run by the Italian League for the Protection of Birdlife. This green area, situated on the left bank of the river mouth, is an important crossroads for migration, and today hosts over 175 species of birds. Alongside these fascinating birds, there are other animals, such as the porcupine and the fox, as well as guests which have only recently colonized the waters of the river for different reasons. The constant presence of some of these animals is not always welcome, because of the imbalance they cause to the original environmental order. This is the case of the koipu, a small rodent that feeds on the roots of the thick vegetation along the banks of the river, irreversibly weakening the sandy embankment. These nice little beavers, from South America, used to be bred to dress certain wealthy Roman ladies in luxury, but were later abandoned in the river, where they began reproducing and where by now they have lived for more than 200 years. A similar fate fell to the Californian turtles. They were imported, kept in captivity, and then released into the Tiber. Unfortunately, this species of turtle is now slowly replacing the marsh turtle, a distinctive creature of this habitat. The ideal setting for this environment, so rich in wildlife, is the equally variegated, enchanting flora, which thrives in the humid conditions to be found here. The explanation for a lot of the historical events that took place in this area in the past can be found in the desire to control the provision of indispensable goods such as salt, and the will to dominate a strategically decisive territory. There is, for example, Ficana, a city in Latium dating back to the 8th century BC, which was conquered by Rome and mysteriously disappeared without leaving a trace until 1970, when some fortifications and the remains of an unexplored necropolis were discovered. Between here and the mouth of the river, some country houses belonging to public personages of Imperial Rome have been recently discovered, as well as some farmhouses from Roman times inhabited by the first colonists of Ostia. Today the area is considered important agricultural land. After about 2 hours navigation, carried along by the gentle currents of the Tiber, we at last reach Ostia Antica. The archaeological excavations are immediately accessible from the quay. Here, as a conclusion to this unforgettable crossing, the trip can be continued as a voyage into the memory of an immortal, ancient past. In remote times, the bed of the Tiber often changed its route owing to natural events as well as man's intervention. The detritus brought down by the river has silted up and cancelled the great imperial harbours of Claudius and Trajan, although significant evidence of them still remains today. In medieval times, before flowing into the Tyrrhenian Sea, the river ran alongside the area where Julius II's castle in Ostia Antica can be seen today. The mouth of the Tiber itself has also changed position several times, and today it appears very far from where everything began. Far, that is, from where the legendary Aeneas, historical father of Rome, came ashore sowing the seeds of a majestic civilization.